Proposals and estimates are very important to your business, especially if you're offering services or a scope of work. For example, if you're doing a large project that involves several elements of the project. A great example of a proposal would be something that you need people to go through different pages, make sure they have a signature, make sure that they have it approved before you begin the work. It'll usually consist of anywhere from 1 to 15 to 25 pages, depending on what you're proposing or the scope of work that you're doing. This could also be a contract or an agreement to do work. Estimates are usually shorter. A lot of times, service industries like home services and roofers, let's say air conditioning services, things like that, they'll give you an estimate, which is really just a single page, maybe explaining the product, the price of the work, and then a second page where you agree to the price of the work or any terms and conditions, and then you would sign that estimate. In this training, we're going to be talking all about proposals and estimates. I'm also going to show you how to create a template for your proposals and estimates that you can use over and over again. And we'll talk about the process, how to create the proposal or estimate, how to send out the proposal and estimate, download it, and keep it for your contacts. Before we start creating our first estimate, there's a couple of things that you want to make sure that you have done. First, make sure that you have all of your products loaded inside of your products tab with your product's name, product type, and product price. The next thing that we want to do is we want to go into proposals, all proposals and estimates, and let's go into settings. Inside of settings, you'll see where you can set up your customer notifications and your team notifications. The system automatically has a default email set, but you can create an email inside of your email templates to customize the document received and the document signed emails. If you'd like to create your own, you can select the email template here for the document received, select the email here for the document signed. Once you've completed it, make sure your dials are set and save. If you want to notify the team members of an email that says the document signed, you can set it to default, or you can create, again, your own email template to notify the team person that the document has been signed. Once you get all that set up, you'll select save. It'll show successfully saved, and then we'll look for the little blue arrow to go back to our proposals and estimates page. This is your page that you will be able to search each proposal or estimate by date. You can also search by name. You'll also see any proposals that are in draft, any proposals where you're waiting for somebody to sign something, waiting for others, and any completed proposals will all show here. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing to enhance proposals and estimates throughout the software, and we'll keep you posted. So check back on your training course to see any new additions. So let's get started designing our proposal. Let's start by designing a simple estimate. That way you can feel comfortable with the actual proposal and estimate designer. What you're going to want to do is come over here to templates, and when you select templates, we want to create a new template. I'm going to create a new template, and we'll call this our estimate template. And you just label your template up here. Let's call this estimate. And now we're in the builder. And we'll do this as well for a proposal. We're going to spend a little bit of time in the designer here for setting up your estimate. That way you'll feel comfortable with the editor on designing your long proposal as well. Over here in the left side, you'll see where you can add an element, where you can add pages, and then right here you can add document variables. That's going to be associated with your document, whether it's an estimate or proposal, and then of course the date. Over here is where we'll see add an element and then the pages. Now, right now we're on page 1. We have a single page. In this particular case, I'm going to create a single page. When you see the plus sign, this is where you can easily add a page. So I just clicked it and it added a second page. This is page 1 of my estimate. This would be page 2. Maybe some disclaimers, terms and conditions, anything that you want to have additional then you need to make sure that they are aware of. With an estimate, you want to make sure that everything is on the page before you get their signature. We'll go ahead and delete this. All you got to do is select the three dots. You'll see page properties where you can duplicate the page or delete the page. We'll come back up here and let's go ahead and set our page property. When I select page property, you'll see that we can change the background color. We could make our estimate black. We can make it a different color. I usually use white for the background. You can change the page background color to whatever page you like. You can also add an image to your background. You would just select image and you could pull an image from your media library if you were going to do a background. So let's say if I wanted to do a proposal for setting up burger franchise or an estimate to a restaurant, I might want to customize my proposal background image to make it feel more inviting. All you got to do is highlight this and delete it if you want to delete it. Then where the image position is, if you added the image, you could do it at the top left, center, and right here for image position, you could do top left, center, repeat. Another thing you could do would be like have a background image where you repeat it. You could repeat your logo. That way it shows you. And then you'd see fit to size, fill page, or auto on the image. And then you could select your opacity here as well. So maybe we did a background. Let's do 10. Now you have a watermarked background image. If we didn't want to repeat, we had no repeat, and we just wanted to have a logo, we could keep the logo as the background image, or we can repeat different ways. That way that it's branded to our business. You can get creative here as much as you'd like and watermark a background image. We could also do that with the burger. If we're dealing with a burger, let's go ahead and put no repeat on the burger, and then we would put fill to page. You can see it filled. Let's make this a little bit more so they can see it. And there we've got a burger on the background. So you get the idea, but you can play with the properties of your estimate to make sure that it looks great for your business. I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. I'm going to leave it as white for now for our training. Every time you make a change, I always look to the top right where it says save. It'll show you that your template is successfully saved. I like to periodically look for that blinking little yellow because it reminds me to save the work that I've done. Now over here to the right at the very top, you'll see where you can undo or redo any changes that you might have made. Let's just say we added something and we didn't like it. You can undo or redo. And then again over here, you'll see these little dials that will pull out the property pages, which is on the three dots that says the page properties. If at any time you want to change it, you can go to these three dots, or you can select this and it'll bring it right out to help you make those changes as well. What I like about this is if you've created a page you like, you can go ahead and duplicate the page. There it is on your page too. So if you create any background images and you want to continue to use it, just duplicate the page here and then redesign. I'll go back to the three dots. We'll delete that, and now we're back to our estimate. Now let's go to the fun stuff, which is adding elements to your estimate. You can make this as simple or as elaborate as you would like. And let's talk about each of these elements. You've got a text element, you've got an image element, you've got a video element, a table element, your product list, a page break, and a signature. The page break is good because in case you might want to break the page between different sections so it looks pretty when you're sending out the estimate or proposal for them to sign. Let's go ahead and design a simple estimate. The first thing that I'll do is I'll add an image. Let's go ahead over here to the side, and you'll see over here again, if I highlight any image, all I got to do is select this little bar and it'll pop out. Do I want my image on the left, the right, the center? Let's first pick an image and we'll add our logo right here. If I want a background color, I can add a background color. So we can add a background color just on that image bar. I'll go ahead and leave it white. You can adjust the height. So if you don't like this, I always start with height and I never really do the width because it distorts the image. We can make our logo a little bit smaller or we can make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to leave this at its standard size. You can also adjust the padding on the left and the right, which is your margins. You'll see your margins right here that you can adjust to the left and the right of the page. I'll go ahead and close that out. If I'm going to do an estimate for a burger shop, I might want to make this a little bit more personalized for the industry or for the business. Again, if you don't like anything that you've done, you can hit undo, or you can come over here, and right here you can see copy, or you can see delete. So you can delete any element on the page. Let's look at adding a video. If you want to add a video, you can easily upload a video URL. Or if you have videos in your media library, you would use the video URL to the video in your library. You can select YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, and Vidyard are supported. You can also select the background for your video, the height and width of your video, and the margin. We're doing an estimate, so I'm not going to do a crazy video in here, but if you have a promo video, a lot of times that is fun. They can get excited about the work that you're going to be doing. Now, the next one I skipped over, which was text. Go ahead and drag and drop text here. This is where you can put headings and elements and start writing your text. You'll see right here the box opened, and at the very top here are your editing tools. So you can change the font, you can change the size, you can also give it headings and paragraph titles, bold, italicize, underline. You can also add a link. So if you were to highlight something and you wanted to send them a link to a website or a URL page to view maybe a gallery or something like that, you could add links here. You can justify your margins. You can even add bullet points, change your text color. What I would recommend doing is adding custom values. Let's say, for example, we're going to add a text block here. I don't want a heading, but I do need to have my customer information here. Check this out. What you'll do is when you select custom values, we want to go to the contact information. We could do first name, last name, or we can do full name, and you'll see it's a custom field, which means anytime we add in an estimate, we don't have to recreate a new estimate. We're going to just do full name. Let's say if we were doing an address for the estimate, we could put in the full address here. Full address, city, state, and zip code. And it would auto-populate that address. Let's go ahead and do one more thing. And we'll go ahead and put the customer's phone number. Go to contact, go to phone number, and let's add their email address. And now we have the proposal customized to this specific contact that you're sending the proposal to. You can also add a table. So let's say if you wanted to make this a little bit more enhanced, we'll do 2 tables. And what you could do is you could put this in table 1, put their full name here, and then right here is your table elements. So you can add a row above, add a row below. Let's go ahead and add a row. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add a row. And now we'll have all of the details here. And then let me go ahead and delete this. And what we could do is we could do contact name. Let's go ahead and do contact through email, and we'll do the contact's phone number. This would be customer information, and then you could do your information. You would add your custom fields. Let's go ahead and copy this here real quick. And then down here, you would add your company information. So this would be your account information, or it could be the user if you want to personalize it. But let's go ahead and do account. We'll do the company name, and then we'll do our phone number. You might also want to email or somewhere they can reach you. Again, you can go through these tables. You can add a row above, add a row below, add an extra column, add a column after, toggle the header cell, delete a row. You can delete a column, merge cells, and split cells, background colors, and border colors. Let's add a border color. So you can see how it made a border color right there. Let's highlight the whole item. And now I have a border color. And then here we can make the background. Now we've got the basic information for our proposal, who the customer is. I'm going to perfect this here. You'll see the customer information, and you'll see our information. And that's how you add a table. Now let's go back over here. Now what we want to do is we want to add a product list and a signature. I'll drag and drop the product list. And remember earlier we said we needed to add some items to the estimate. Let's go ahead and select this. We'll go ahead and do estimate. Let's do sample estimate service. We'll add that item. And then we'll add the sample estimate service too. So they're going to get an estimate, and then they're going to get an upgrade. And you would just add any items that you'd like here. You can also add a special discount. So for example, if you want to give them a 10% discount if they sign up by a certain date, or maybe you're running a special, you could also do a custom amount. So the percentage could be a 10% discount. You just do 10 right there. give the total discount, or we can just do $100 off or $25 off. Now watch what happens when I save. Now the discount's been added. So the discount can be per customer, but your prices never actually change. It's a great way to give somebody value and let them see that you're offering them a discount. Now, what we want to do is we need to get their signature. So we want to come in and bring a signature in. You might want to do things here like who is signing. Now, there's two things that you might have regarding the estimate. You might need a signature for you, and then you might need a signature for the business. If you're doing a signature here, what you want to make sure that you do is add the text information as well under here for that person's signature. So we've got a signature. What we'll want to do here is add those custom fields of the person that's signing. It would be a clear version of full name of the person signing. You could also add other fields in here as well. You may want to put a date, month, day and year, or day, month, and year. Now we've got a date. So we've got a signature, we've got their name printed, and now we have a date. See right here where it says PDF page break? You can see I've made it right to the end of my page. If I need to add more, we're going to have to add another page. But right now for an estimate, usually it's getting the person's signature, the contact that you're giving the estimate for, and now we've got a very simple, easy to use estimate. Let's go ahead and save it. There is my estimate. We're going to go back, and when we select our templates, now you'll see your easy to use estimate. Now you can create as many of these as you'd like, so they're already pre-done. When you go to your templates, estimate templates, you can easily delete the template or use the template. When it comes to estimates, maybe you've got 6 different packages that you offer, so you might want to go ahead and create those templates. That way you have them ready to go and easy to send to that particular customer interested in those particular services. I'm going to go ahead and say use template. When I select use template, it's going to bring me back to the template right here. It's going to give you some new things so we can now use it. We're going to go ahead and use this template. We're going to find the primary client or customer that we want to send the estimate to. We're going to send it to collective test. It's going to bring up the contact. Is this the primary or signer? Do we need to add more recipients to sign it? Nope, we just need one signature. If you're in here and you're a business, we need to make sure that we add you if you do require a signature. So you want to get with your legal department to see how to set up your estimates to make sure that the estimates are legally binding for your business. Now that we've got a recipient here, you'll see the document variables, you'll see the recipient, and now we've got this estimate for collective test saved. You're going to see some new additions here. These 3 dots where you can delete it, mark it as complete, download a PDF, or convert it to a template. Maybe you created with a specific customer, you added something different and you want to use it as a template. You'll be able to easily go in here and convert whatever you do here as a template. Let's say you added something, maybe a disclaimer or something new, and you want to save it as a template. That's where you would convert it as a template. Let's download the PDF so you can see what it looks like. So you can send them this in a PDF, or you can even download a PDF for your records. You'll see my download. Let's go ahead and open this up. Look at that. A great estimate. And of course, this is before we get the signature. It'll just show the PDF as a record. You can preview it right here. This shows the estimate, who made it, how many pages there are, and you can download from here as a PDF. Now that we've got the preview done, we've got it saved, now it's time to send. So we're going to send collective an email, or we can actually share a link. If you share a link, you can generate a specific link to the document, and you can copy this link and send the link. Will allow them to sign from that link, or you can go ahead and send them via email using the email template. And here's what the email looks like. It'll say proposal for collective test. It'll say the demo sent you a proposal. Click on the details below. Unable to view the button, click here. So it's got all the information. And again, this is the templated version. So you may want to go in and create an email to make this look a little bit more pretty. When they go to the document, you're going to see this document has one required field, and it'll say start filling it out. This is what your customer is going to see. You'll see right here, we need to have a signature. It's telling me I need to have a signature and finish. When I click signature, this is where I'll come in We'll go ahead and make my signature. I can select any kind of signature I'd like. We'll do script. We'll go ahead and accept and assign. Now, and a lot of times legal will like to see blue, so they might select a blue color as well. It says, I understand my name, my signature. It understands by signing the document as an electronic signature, I agree that such signature will be considered as a handwritten signature. We want that. So there's our signature. Then as the user, we just tell them sign, select the button at the top, sign, and finish. And make sure you let them know to finish as well. Now the customer has signed the proposal. Let's go ahead and go back into our estimates. And you'll see right here where it says draft, waiting for others, or completed. If we hadn't completed it, it would have been sitting here waiting for us to sign it, but we completed it. So you'll see the estimate is completed and signed. Right here on the three dots, you can view it. You can clone it, you can delete it, you can download the PDF, you can convert it to a template, or now, guess what? We can view the invoice. So you've just now created this, then you can click View Invoice. It's going to take you to the invoice where you can then copy and mark it as sent. Here's the invoice is set up. Let's go ahead and copy and mark it as sent. Invoice link copied, and we can resend. And you'll see you can copy the link or resend. Let's go ahead and go back. And now when we go back into our proposal and estimate, let's go ahead and download the PDF. Take a look at this. We now have a sign, and we also have the signature certificate. This is a great reference for legal. They signed it, they have a certificate, they agree, it shows the IP address of where the signature was made, and now you have a signature certificate showing that this has been signed, and it helps everybody involved knowing exactly what you promised in the estimate and what you're going to deliver. Remember, the signature certification works both ways. It protects you as the business owner for what you've offered when it comes to signature certification of what you're going to be offering. It protects the customer knowing that this is what you agreed to as the business owner, and it protects you as this is what the customer agreed to as the business owner. So having a copy of that certificate and being able to document that and find it is great. And you'll always be able to pull those right from the completed documents. Now we'll go back over here. Let's go to all invoices. And when you go to all invoices, you'll see it automatically created an invoice due within 15 days based on what we set. And look at this. We can edit, we can copy, we can download, we can clone. Watch this. If I click on this invoice right here and I want to send it, this is where I can send a copy of the invoice for them to pay right away. We'll go back to my email, and now you see they got an email that says, hey, collective, this is confirmed. We have duly received your signature on the proposal. Please find the attached reference. We look forward to serving you. And here it is. They can download it and have a copy as well for their signature. You'll also get a notification that it's been signed. Now, inside your invoice, this is where you may want to go back in and resend the email and text confirmation. Let's go ahead and email them a copy of their invoice so they can get the invoice paid. And here we go. You'll see I got my invoice, view invoice. When they click view invoice, it's going to take them to the fast pay. They can easily click on the invoice and pay it right here by putting in their credit card and information, whatever you have set up. They can also download the invoice and keep the invoice. And that's how easy it is to create an estimate and get an invoice right away. Now you've got your estimate template there and ready to go. So you can easily use that template over and over again. You'll see I just clicked use template. What we'll do is we'll find the next customer, and then you'll see right here where we'll want to add the customer, save it, send it, and do the same process over again. Now remember, this also works for proposals as well. So let's look at the difference between an estimate and a proposal in the next video. Now that you've learned how to design and work with the estimates and proposal builder, creating a proposal just has a few different little bitty elements that you're going to want to add. I'm going to go into the proposals and templates, and let's go ahead and create a new template. And we're going to call this template our proposal template. We've already gone through all of the elements in the estimates section. What I want to show you is the different elements for a proposal. I showed you earlier the difference between an estimate and proposal, and that really comes down to the pages. If you're creating a proposal, a lot of times you're going to want to have this look a little bit different. This could be for scope of work. So we're going to want to do a home page that might have something like proposal 4. And then we would want to add the custom value of the contact. Let's close this one out. Let's go to custom value of the contact. Let's go to company name. And we could design this as being both header 2s, center this, and we could add our logo here. And there we have it. So your page 1 could be your logo, proposal 4. And to be really interactive with your proposal, I recommend adding the customer logo in as well, and then any other things that you would like to do. Maybe you might want to add a date section and just put today's date, and we'll just do this custom value right now. We'll go to date format, month, date, and year. And let's just center this. And so now we would have their information, and then let's just pick something related. And the proposal is for the business. Now you've got a page 1 of a proposal. You've got your logo, proposal for the company, and you can copy and paste maybe from a prior agreement. Maybe we'll want to come in and bullet point this. You get the idea. So you could have different text sections for different pieces of your proposal. And this could literally go on and on. I'll just copy this. Maybe I want to leave it the same format. Let's go ahead and keep copying as if we're talking about all of our different scope of work. And what I'm meaning by that is, remember, a proposal is going to demonstrate all of the work in detail that you're going to be doing for them. So I've got everything in my proposal I need. And then we're going to, let's just say, add a page. And then on this page is where we would actually add the product list, the details. And usually with a scope of work, you might have more than one signature. 2 or more people might have to sign, or 3 people might need to sign, you and 2 other people from their team. So you get the idea. It's a pretty long proposal. So a proposal would be a multitude of pages. And this just gives you a good idea of what you want to do. So you want to say all the scope of work and the things that you're doing, bullet point all the benefits of each one. And now you've got this long page proposal. What we did here in the proposal was we just kept going on page 2. When you scroll down here, it's going to say PDF page break. Right here, you can see if we keep going, this is just not going to show up correctly. This is where the page break comes in handy, and we can do the page break right there. Now the page 2 is set at the page break. Then we would go down here, and we might want to set this one as a page break. Let's go ahead and drop that there. And when you notice, it moved it to the next page. So now we've got our pages all organized. We could just copy and add just a couple more things here. And now we've got a good proposal and estimate. Looks like we've got a few pages here. And now we've set our proposal to cover all of the details in the proposal of what we're going to be doing. And we've added some minor page breaks to separate things out and make them look good. Another great thing that you can do as well with proposals that I recommend is adding a video or a description or images after each description to really make your proposal pop. You want to have an image that goes with what the scope of work is that you're going to be doing. A great example is, let's say you're doing a huge project and this is a proposal, let's say for a wedding or an event. You want to cover all the things that your business does during that wedding or event, or all the things that your business is doing based on your coaching program. You want to have all the bullet points here of what you're providing. You may also add in proposals what's expected from the customer in order to complete that scope of work. For example, if you need certain items from the customer. You might want to have an items checklist in the proposals. And you can easily Google proposals and look at all kinds of ideas and come in and design your template the way you see fit. Don't forget, you can also do all the same elements that we did on the estimates section by coming in here, and you can add different properties, you can add page backgrounds, logos, and all kinds of things in each individual page. I'm going to go ahead and save this here, and let's make sure I spelled proposal correctly. There we go. And now my proposal template is set up. I can use the template from here once I've built it. If I'm automatically ready to send it, I can use the template from inside the template. Inside of proposals, one of the things that you can do in both proposals and estimates is once you've done designing it, you can select use template, and then it will convert the template for you to where you can send it to your recipient. You can use the template from inside your templates, or you can open up the template and use it as a template to go and send your recipient the template. And again, it's the same process sending the template. We would find the person that we were sending the proposal to. If we need to add more signatures, we might add more signatures of other people that might need to be signing this document as well. And there we have it. Let's go ahead and preview, and you can see it looks great right here. Now, one of the things here is I could have put an image here that's missing, so we can easily add that video or that image to that page. Previewing it and being able to look at what your proposal looks like is a great way to check that out, and it does open into a new window. This is where you would add the recipients. See, when I select over here and I hover this, now that I've made my proposal live, I would need to set another person to sign the contract. So watch what happens when you add 3 signatures like this. And this is mostly done on proposals, but you can do this on estimates as well. Remember, it's after you, not inside of your template. But once you create the proposal, you'll want to come to the signatures. We're going to send the recipient, and then we're going to come over here and assign the recipient. So you'll see right here, this says collective test. This one says Kathy Thomas. And if we need to find another person that it needs to be signed by, let's go ahead and add another recipient right here. And you'll see as we add the recipients here, we then need to assign the signature. Now we've got collective test, Kathy Thomas, demo form fun, and now we've got the recipients over here to the left that we've selected. And as we've selected them, we've put them into the proposal template. Now we have everything ready to be signed. You can then save it. You can send the template via email or share the link. The process is the same. They'll get the email, they'll click on the email. All 3 people will have to go through the contract signing process or the agreement signing process or the proposal signing process, whichever one you want to call it. Let's go back to estimates and proposals, and you'll see right here where we had draft. Now we have waiting on others. So this proposal has been sent and it's waiting to be signed. Once all 3 people have signed, it'll show up in completed. Once the proposal has been signed by all 3 parties, that's when you want to create or send an invoice. So once all the contracts have been signed, that's when you're going to want to create your proposal invoice. If you already have a template for that, you could go back into your invoicing templates and use your proposal template that you could create right here, calling it proposal template. And then you could create that master emails for that large project or that large scope of work. So the difference between estimates and proposals is really that proposals are longer. They're going to involve a lot more based on the scope of work that you're doing, based on your agreements, your terms and conditions, any other things that you're going to want to put into your master proposal. Also allows you to add the products for that specific proposal, and you can also utilize proposals for more than one signature. You can do the same in estimates, but usually and more than likely you have more people involved in more of those complex proposals. And that's how you create and send a proposal. Don't forget, you can always use your templates once you've pre-made them to completely save the template and select the 3 dots and just select use templates. So you definitely want to go and set up all of your templates, whether it be for estimates and proposals. That way you can continue to reuse. And once you reuse, you can easily make updated edits to your template when you select use template to customize that for each specific customer or person that you're sending the estimate or proposal to. Transactions, subscriptions, and orders all help you manage what's been purchased or what's coming. I'm showing you a sample transaction. So once you start to fill out your transactions and people are buying, you're going to see the new invoice, the reoccurring templates, transaction dates, amounts. You'll see if it's succeeded, passed, or failed. You can change the status here as well by filtering through all of your payments, what's been refunded, what's pending. You can also see the payment mode. Was it a live or a test mode? The source type being, was it from a funnel, a website, an invoice, a calendar, a text to pay, mobile, or a membership? You can use the filter really easily inside of the transactions. You can also refresh as well. There's also subscriptions in here. You can filter the same way again by status. Are they trial? Are they active? Is it overdue, unpaid, canceled? Payment mode, live or test, and source type. Where did they come from? A funnel, a website, or a membership. Remember, subscriptions are reoccurring payments. Orders would be any orders that had been placed. When we select status, you'll be able to see, was it completed? Was it canceled? Is it pending? If you created an invoice and it was sitting there, it's not a subscription, it hasn't been paid, you're going to see it as an open or pending payment. Orders, subscription, and transactions are going to help you manage all of the details from pending to outstanding to successful payments. The final thing that you can do that's going to be really helpful if you're utilizing Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets is being able to download the full transaction list, download your subscription list, or download your order list. Just by clicking this little icon to download, it will prepare the download and it'll send it over when it's done. You'll get this in an email as soon as it's done. It's very simple to just click the button to get that download. That's transactions, subscriptions, and orders. So once you start getting paid and once you start creating those invoices and getting the invoices out, you're going to be ready to start seeing these reports and be able to export them and effectively manage your payments all across the board. There are 2 automations I would set up right now in the system. I believe that we're going to have lots more when it comes to payments and workflows in the near future. The first automation I would set up would be to actually send a proposal. And what I want to show you is you want to base the estimate and proposals inside of your opportunities pipeline as a sales process. So the new lead would come in, you would follow up, you would send them a proposal, and then you could see an invoice sent. And when the invoice is paid right here, you could do invoice paid. So you could be waiting on proposals or payments here. And then once it's paid, you can have a paid invoice. So I'm going to show you in automations and workflows. We'll just create a new workflow. And when you create a new workflow, when it comes to estimates and proposals, there's no original trigger that will trigger an estimate and a proposal directly. You're going to have to add these events to already done or already created workflows. I would create one workflow for an opportunity change and one workflow for the invoice paid. This could be a form you fill out. This could be any trigger that you'd like. But I like doing this because it creates a flawless sales process. So what you would do is you would add a trigger called opportunity changed, and it would look like this. Let's go ahead and do opportunity. And we're looking for opportunity changed. And what we're looking for is opportunity changed. When I click changed right here, we're just going to go in and add our filters. We would do in the sales pipeline, and then we need to add another filter that would say pipeline stage, and we would want to know what stage that it needs to go in, and there it is. The workflow trigger will be the pipeline stage has changed to estimates and proposals. And then you would just save your trigger. And then once you do that, that's where you can add your send proposals. When you select a plus and you type in proposal or send a proposal, you'll see you have the option. Let's type in send. You have an option here to send a proposal and send an invoice. Now, one thing I want to point out is you do not want to add send an invoice. The send an invoice does not attach it to your current estimate proposal. What this does is it creates a new invoice. So what we want to do is we just want to do send proposal and estimates. Sending an invoice, if you look right here, you would show the person name, and then you would have to select a specific invoice template. So you do not want to do that one on here. What you want to do is do this as your automation proposal estimates sending. I'm going to label my workflow send estimate, or you can say send proposal. What you do when you add the send proposal is right here, you need to say who the user's from, who's sending it. This would be your staff user. And then what's the template you're going to use, the estimate or the proposal. Remember, these are the templates that you created originally. I always recommend adding a tag. So I added one called estimate and proposal. That way it'll tag the contact that they do have an estimate and proposal. You can add other actions to your workflow as well. I'm going to leave this one the same right now. So let's go ahead and save it. And don't forget to publish your workflow. Let's go ahead and go back to our opportunities. And let's take this follow-up opportunity and we're going to move them over to the estimates and proposals pipeline. We've talked to them. We've got them all ready to go. And now we're going to send them the estimates or the proposal, whichever template you sent. We're going to go ahead and send them that proposal. So all I did was move them in the pipeline. And just to double check, I clicked here, it's sales, and now it's estimate and proposal. When we do that, look what we've got, an email right here sent right now to go ahead and sign that estimate proposal. Attached it to the person, attached it to my name, it attached it with the team member, and I'm ready to sign it. That's how you can automate the estimate and proposal template signature. Now, the next one that you want to create would be the invoice paid trigger. So you've created your estimate, they now have it. You'll have to send them an invoice. And once they get the invoice, now we want to know that it's been paid. You get the signed estimate and proposal back, that comes back. You then send them the invoice, and now you want to create a workflow based on the invoice paid. This is where you can set your trigger to invoice, and you can say invoice status is paid. And this is where you could then begin what happens after they pay the invoice. Remember, when you set up your estimates and proposals, it created an invoice for you based on your settings, and now the invoice is there. And if for any reason they didn't get it, you can resend them the invoice. But once this invoice has been paid, then your workflow on the paid invoice can then begin. Inside of automations, there's going to be more. When you go to create an automation, just keep an eye out for upcoming triggers and upcoming actions related to proposals and estimates.
Oh,